Good morning, my Teaser King family. Let's try this again. All right, so let's like my haircut. I colored it this morning. It takes a while to do it. I actually do have more hair up here. I can feel it. It's thin. All right, let's take a look at what's going on. So we've got gold, 48.75. What the fuck? It didn't go under 5,000. Now it's here. What's going on? Silver, 77. It wouldn't go down under 80. A lot of support 80, Mark McGuire tells us. So what's happening? I looked at Bitcoin. It's down today. Stock market's down today. What that really is people need money, and they're selling things that they have made money in: gold, silver, Bitcoin, and the stock market. Why do people need money? The inflation, the massive inflation that we're getting, plus the rising prices in gas and food, which will be coming. And so people need money. I don't know if there was margin calls. I tried checking. It didn't say margin call in silver or gold, but I assume there's one coming, or people need money. So what's really happening is people need money. People are losing their jobs. They need money. They've got their assets and stocks, bonds, Bitcoin, gold, and silver. Only they're playing paper gold and silver. They're not really playing the real game of physical gold and silver. In our situation, maybe you needed to sell a few ounces, but that's not affecting this 48.77 price. Will it stay low? I don't think so. I think it is low, but the U.S. will, I think, buy today. And we'll see $80 silver very soon, and we'll see $5,000 gold very soon. This is just option selling. Who the fuck is playing options? What kind of idiots are in there? Again, these are more people who don't understand physical and are playing paper. And as I explained, and thought I really hit the nail. I drove the nail home pretty good. In the paper world, you can inflate gold and silver because you can print more. You can have paper, gold, and silver, which increases supply, which lowers price. But you can't do it in the physical market, which has been my thesis for the last 10 years here, is that you can't print gold and silver physical. And I always differentiate the physical from the paper. So the paper, gold, and silver are dropping. Do we really care? No, it's a great buying opportunity. The problem is we bought so much at $2,000 gold and at $25 silver, anticipating this was going to happen. Just like I anticipated Seattle winning the Super Bowl, right? So you're anticipating that, and therefore, since you're anticipating it, we did all our buying, and everything we anticipated came through, and we'll keep going up. But we're caught with this stupid war that Trump now wants to open the Straits of Hormuz. You can't. They've got it in mind, and they're right there, and they got the artillery, and you're not moving them. You need to end this war that you never should have started, Trump, and it's causing this economic chaos. It's causing higher oil prices, and then oil affects all the transportation costs of shipping your strawberries to the market is now going to be more expensive. To the point they can't just make strawberries $20. Nobody will buy them. So two things happen. Prices go up, in which case we laugh and say, I just won't eat strawberries. And the grocery store then gets fucked because they got to pay more. So they got to charge more, but they can't sell it. So they have to lower their prices to meet the market. And that's when these companies go broke and go out of business. They go out of business because of the fact that they can't make profit. They can't sell it higher than their cost. So when costs go way up to a business, if they cannot raise prices, which they can't, then they must lay off everybody. In either way, you kill yourself because you need employees, which I'm going to get to AI and algorithms shortly. And so you need employees you need to run your business, right? And I'm watching Gordon Ramsay. They need chefs. I'll get into that in a minute. So what you have here is prices going up or costs going up, but that doesn't mean prices can go up. I hate when people say that. Well, they'll just raise prices. No, they won't, because the market will say, "Fuck you, I'm not going to pay more." You can. I bought this at probably $25. All right, maybe it's 100 now, if you can find it. I can't make it $1,000. I can't put this on eBay for $1,000. It can't happen. There's no buyers for it. Maybe there is, but I don't think so. Or this. I can't just say I'm going to sell it for $1,000 on eBay. I can't. I can only right now I have to take the paper price, which is bullshit. But that's what needs to happen, and is what is happening with BRICS and China and Russia, is to get to a physical price, not the paper price. And since there's far less physical than paper, we know the price is much higher. We know the demand is huge. So we don't worry about these COMEX prices right now. It's just a snapshot in time. It's the Steelers of the 70s did lose a few games. They won most of them, but they did lose a few. And you looked at how they lost. Yeah, but then, when the playoffs started, they came on and won 4 fucking Super Bowls. So, yeah, they did lose. They didn't go perfect. They did lose a game or two. And the only reason the Dolphins went perfect was because they had the easiest schedule. It was like Michigan's schedule a few years ago when they won the title and they didn't play anybody. Ohio State had a shit team, and Alabama with Milrose in the playoffs should have beat them. And then Washington didn't. That was the best team they played. It was Washington all year. They didn't play anybody. So to go undefeated when you play a bunch of high school teams, that's fine. So gold and silver, we know the demand's huge. We know the physical supply is gone. We know this is paper. This isn't real, but it's good to buy it. Does somebody want to buy? Who the hell is selling the options is the question. And then the people selling are going to get asked to deliver. They'll have to deliver the physical, which they don't have. So this whole thing, again, is keeping the price down so they can buy. Maybe the military needs silver for their Tomahawk missiles that are going to take 2 or 3 years to build. I was listening to one of those colonels yesterday, and to replace the Raytheon and the Northrop and all these missiles and stuff, it's going to take 2-3 years. It's not like they can just produce it. And then you wonder, well, what are we giving them $1 trillion a year for? Because they're certainly not making anything with the money. So what are they doing? What are we giving them the money for? So they can hand it back on lobbyists to pay off our guys. I mean, is it just money laundering? I guess probably. Terrible run budget, terrible run company, government. I was watching Gordon Ramsay today, Kitchen Nightmares, and there's, again, the problem is the cook doesn't want to listen. He's not a good cook. He microwaves. The same script I told you about yesterday. It's the same script. The family's not listening to each other. Then he gets them back and they cry. Oh, yes, I do love you. Oh, no, yeah. Bullshit. The chef walks out. The chef doesn't want to listen. He doesn't want to communicate. So Gordon brings in a new chef who actually knows what he's doing. Wouldn't you wonder why they didn't go to Gordon for a chef in the first? If I was opening up a decent restaurant, I'd go to Gordon and say, give me a chef. What can you recommend? And I'd fire whoever I have working, especially if they don't listen to me. Fuck off. I'm the one who has to pay the bills, and you're just sitting here. So go fuck off. Anyway, that's what you have in the government. You have this badly run government that doesn't listen to each other, that just spends money right and left, and it's a joke. Hence why we get out of the dollar because of the inflation. It's amazing nobody will talk about that the The dollar's being printed to death. Everybody seems to think, oh, we'll just print more money. Everybody thinks we can just keep printing and printing and printing, and nothing happens. It's amazing how stupid people are. And I just roll my eyes, shake my head, as Bobby would say. I don't know. I just sit there and I can't understand these people just saying, "Well, we're gonna just keep printing money. Oh, we owe money. We gotta pay the government employees. We gotta pay the interest on the debt." Now, Mark McGuire or Ellister yesterday said that we don't have gold in Fort Knox. He confirmed that, um, and the inflation's huge. It's not prices. Egon is the only one who gets it because he's listening to me saying it's not prices going up, it's the money printing reducing the value of the dollar. So the value of the dollar is what's dropping because of the money printing. And yet we'll print more money to pay off the debts and pay off the military and pay off the interest. We'll just keep printing money. Well, nobody wants to buy our bonds because they know the money's no good. But everybody, let's ignore that. We'll just keep printing money and nothing will happen. And this is the problem with these idiots. Nothing will happen. Yes, everything will happen. Now, you're not getting inflation in the oil prices. You're getting supply problems. And then uh, that's going to lead to the oil prices going up, will lead to higher gas prices. And then the transportation, since everything's transferred by truck, everything will be more, I got to pay more for gas. So they're going to have to charge the grocery stores more. Now, the grocery stores are going to try to charge us more, and we're going to say, fuck you. We'll just eat less. We'll eat cheaper foods. We'll substitute out. I would go to the grocery store today and buy a shitload for the freezer and go buy 5 or 6 chicken packages or steaks at these prices because they're going to go up because of the higher gas prices. So the transportation's making it go up. That is not inflation. Just because prices go up doesn't mean it's inflation. There's no such thing as wage inflation. If I make more money at a job, it's because of my skill set and it's what the market will bear. I don't force anybody to pay me. I just say, well, I want $55 an hour. And if you can't pay me, don't pay me. Go fuck off. Fine, you're not getting me for $30 an hour. So that's what's happening in the market. So I think what's happening is people are getting laid off because we're in a recession. People are, retiring. There's a lot of retirees, right? We're in the baby boomer stage, right? And so there's a lot of 70s and 80-year-olds that I see at the club in the hot tub. They need money. They're relying on their stocks. Well, they need more money. Prices are going up, and therefore they start pulling their stocks. They start pulling their bonds. Now, a lot of them are not into paper, gold, and silver. I would think none of them are. I think most of them are in stock market and pulling their stocks if they need money. If they do have gold, they'll go sell their physical gold, but that doesn't lower the price of coin. This 48.73 I'm staring at now, it's got nothing to do with physical. It's all paper. That's just the way it is. Somebody's selling options, which is going to get me to AI and analytics in a second. So I'm watching things on AI and analytics. We were talking about it yesterday in the pool because I said, well, when I want to go to a hotel, I was talking about my internet, my router, my modem, and I called Spectre and Blofeld answered, and he said that, I needed a new one. So I went and got them, and then they worked. The modem worked. The router was staying red. So I called Blofeld, and he says that he had to reset it from there. So he hits a button and resets it, and it works. And I said, well, why didn't the people at the store tell me I had to call to reset it, or why didn't they reset it there? And if you call Spectre, you get an AI Blofeld who just can't answer any questions. You can only answer direct questions that they can possibly answer. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's a scam, I guess. Scam, Ponzi scheme, whatever. Then I see this guy on LinkedIn, and we're going to have a trillion, whatever. We're going to have $1 trillion in sales. It's bullshit. First of all, it's just to get his stock up. Second of all, do people realize what AI does? So does it even work? No. It's like electric vehicles. Nobody wants them. AI is not needed. AI doesn't do shit. When I'm working, I pull ledgers and I get the information. I've been doing that for 30 years. You do not need AI in the workplace because it's only good for repetitive tasks. It's like if you ever used Excel and you used a macro, and everybody, we can do a macro. Macros are useless. Macros, what do you need a macro for? It just repeats steps, right? So if I'm in a file, it won't work if I add a new month in. All right, we just hit, now we're going into March. Now I got to change my file. So I got to change my macro because my macro is just going to give me January and February. So I got to change the macro to add March. What's the benefit of that? There's no benefit of a macro, and yet people can you do macros? And I'm like, they're stupid. I never do them. There's no purpose of it. Can I do AI? It's stupid. There's no purpose. As long as I have a database, I can pull the database with VLOOKUPs and some ifs and get the information I need much quicker than AI because of the parameters. Who the fuck knows what they're doing? Even if I use AI, I got to check AI. So AI is not getting rid of your staff, but people think that. Now, my thought on AI is the companies are losing money because the costs are going up, but they can't raise their prices. So what do? You cut your staff. So my thought is they're cutting staff now because they're going to AI. Well, AI is not cheap, I would imagine. And you have to have somebody verify AI. You can't just assume AI is working. Well, AI gave me $24 million budget. Well, my budget's 28 million. Oops, AI missed something. What did AI miss? I don't know. I got to bring in a guy who's got to look and figure out why AI fucked up. AI only takes the parameters that you give it. So you're going to keep changing parameters for AI. You're going to hire an IT guy at 200,000 a year to babysit AI. People don't understand AI is very, very weak. It's a Ponzi scheme. The guy at Nibida is trying to get you to buy AI, but it doesn't work. So it's like a car with no engine. Yeah, I got a nice Corvette here. Oh, wow. Okay, I'll buy one. Well, it doesn't have an engine. It doesn't have tires. It doesn't have a steering wheel. Yeah, but it's a Corvette. I mean, that's the problem with AI. It doesn't work. There's nothing in it. You have to change the variables. Oh, now I got to add 2026 to the equation. How do I do that? Well, you got to have a programmer come in and do it. Well, that's costing me more money than if I had Joe Blow sitting there. So the companies are idiots, as we know. They don't understand inflation, as we know. They don't know why gold's at 2,000 based on my interview with the guy. And I said, do you know why gold's at 2,000? And he said, no. And when I got done laughing, I walked out. Yeah, I should have walked out. I said, if you don't understand gold at 2,000, you shouldn't be in finance. You should be working at the grocery store. You're an idiot, basically. And why do I want to work for an idiot? I don't. I want to learn. I don't want to work for idiots. I've done that way too many times. Toyota and Alabama. The one place I worked at here in the plant was ridiculous. Just stupid people. So that's the problem. AI does not work. It's not good. It just gathers data. Let me give you the exact thing that I gave for AI that I looked up. AI is a branch of computer science that creates systems capable of performing tasks requiring human like intelligence, such as learning, reasoning, problem solving, and perception. These systems process vast data sets to identify patterns, make predictions, and generate context like text messages, images. Key aspects, the key aspects of AI, machine learning, a core component where AI learns from experience and data rather than explicitly programmed for every task. What a bunch of bullshit that is. Neural networks, computation models inspired by the human brain used for complex. What a bunch of bullshit that is. Generative AI, systems designed to create new content in response to user prompts, such as ChatGPT. I don't know what that is. Neuro versus general. Almost all modern AI is neuro AI or weak AI, designed to excel at specific tasks, facial recognition, voice assistance, while general AI remains theoretical. All of that, what I just read, is bullshit. It doesn't do anything. What does that mean? AI learns from experience. No, it doesn't. AI can't learn from experience. You're gonna go talk to AI. Who do you like in the football game? How about poker? Let's use AI for poker. Oh, he was bluffing. Yeah, he had 2-8, but he was bluffing. Well, he had 2-8 and he folded. Well, go ahead, AI, figure that shit out. You can't. You can't do football. You can't do any of these normal things that you do. You can't use AI for. It doesn't work, is what I keep saying. Whatchamacallit, Prophet tried to AI, I'll take New England 24-20. Yeah, Seattle won like 29-13. AI doesn't work because AI in football doesn't understand New England played nobody. Their schedule sucked. So you've got to rank them higher. How are you going to put that in the AI? Right? So it can't do anything. It doesn't do generative AI. Systems designed to create new content in response to user prompts. What the fuck does that mean? So if I ask what day it is and it gives me Sunday, oh wow, I really needed AI for that. A branch of computer science that creates systems capable of performing tasks requiring human like intelligence, such as learning. There's no way it learns. Reasoning. There's no way it reasons. Problem solving. That's impossible. And perception. None of that AI does, but they'll say it does, and idiots will believe it. How the fuck can it possibly learn or reason or problem solve? That's fucking impossible. So they're giving you a load of shit. And all these companies are going to buy AI and get rid of their employees. What is it? Oh, they don't take vacation and they don't take sick days and they don't take lunch hours and they don't work. So everybody's getting bullshitted by, again, IT coming up with this AI bullshit that doesn't work, but nobody's smart enough to understand it doesn't work. I can't. I just read it. I don't know what the fuck I just read. Nothing there. It's not in English. It's an IT language, which nobody understands. Does it work? Does it? It's create systems capable of performing tasks. Not that they can perform it. It's capable. Bullshit. It's not. Learning. What can it learn? What can it possibly learn? Reasoning. How can it reason? Problem solving. What kind of problems can it solve? What's the gold price going to be? Let's do that. Let's look at. Let's see. What is the gold price in July? No, not July 2025. See, it gives me July 2025. Well, I already know what it is. Um, Let me. What will the gold price be in July 2026? Let's take a look at. Let's have some fun with AI. Well, based on early 2026 analyst forecast, Gold prices in July are expected to trade significantly higher than current levels, with projections suggesting a range between roughly 4,900 and over 6,000 per ounce, driven by continued central bank buying, geopolitical risks, and high inflation. What did it do? Tell me what it did. How did you get that? So what you're saying is you're looking at what others did, and you're giving me the prices that the banks gave between 49 and 6,000. Well, what is that? That's not. What's the point of that? I can say what is J.P. Morgan forecasting gold prices in July of 2026, and they're going to give me 6,500 an ounce. I don't need AI. So what did AI do for us? Didn't do anything. Uh, July 2026 future contracts were trading about 4,900 per ounce. JP Morgan, see now it gets into JP Morgan predicts 5 to 6, Goldman 54, other forecasts 60. Central bank demand, continuing strong record setting purchases from central banks. No, they're not. They're not including the Chinese, these shadow banks and the citizens all over the place. India, Russia. It's not central bank buying, it's other banks buying it, but it doesn't have it. Macro risk, increased hedging against geopolitical tensions and inflationary pressures. Why would you hedge it? You'd be buying it if you're worried about inflation and wars. Interest rates, potential for lower interest rates enhance. None of that has anything to do with gold and silver. It doesn't get it. This whole thing is a lie. None of this makes any sense because it's based on one thing, which is inflation, which it says inflationary pressures. Okay. You need to get out of this because this is worthless. Does it say that? No. Making the gold and silver go up because there is no other thing to get into. So what does AI do? AI doesn't do anything. That's a perfect example that AI is full of shit. God, I get all this bullshit. So that's an example of AI. All it did was look at other things. It did not analyze, it did not problem solve. It just spit out some information, not valid, not understanding what inflation is, just that the word inflation. What does inflation mean? Let's take a look at that. Let's see what AI says about inflation. And it doesn't know. It's the general increase in prices for goods and services over time. That is wrong. Reducing the purchasing power of money. No, that's not what it does. It means $1 today buys less than it did yesterday. That's not true. It is measured by tracking changes in a basket of items such as the consumer. Mild inflation indicates a growing economy. It's totally wrong. Inflation is money printing, making the value of the dollar go down. So it's giving you the wrong answer. It's telling you it's price going up. It's not. Price inflation is the money being devalued. It does mention $1 today buys less than it did yesterday. Well, that's got nothing to do with inflation. That's got to do with the dollar being worth less, but so it takes more dollars to buy. I'll give it that. There's no basket. The CPI is not, because you don't know if the price of oil is up because of the supply of oil is going down. So it raises the cost at the pump, which is going to raise all the prices that need to ship with oil or gas, right? So they ship blueberries, they're going to be up. That's got nothing to do with inflation. Prices going up because of a shortage is not inflation. Also, gold going up because of demand is not inflation. So how do you get these prices? So you didn't answer the question. Um, you're saying that the general increase in prices for goods and services over time reduces the purchasing power of money. No, it doesn't. That does not reduce the purchasing power of money. Printing the money reduces the purchasing power of money, not the fact that the prices go up. Prices going up does not reduce the purchasing power of the money. Only inflation, only printing too much. You print more than the demand is, and that makes it inflation. You're inflating the money supply and making the money worthless. And that has nothing to do with higher prices. It makes more dollars needed to buy some goods and services, not all. That's what it means. But again, gold goes up because of demand, not because of supply, not because of inflation. Oil's going up because of the supply being down because they can't ship the stuff, so the price goes up. Neither of those are inflation. Not being able to grow cocoa in Africa and my dark chocolate bars are up is not inflation. That's the supply issue. If you have a supply issue, that's not inflation. And inflation isn't prices, it's the money supply. But it doesn't say it. And there's my point. That's the proof that AI doesn't know what the fuck it's talking about. It's taking things, but it doesn't know what it's not. The argument is, but you got the definition of inflation wrong. And we don't use the CPI, but it's what's it doing? It's taking data that it doesn't, you don't know what it is. So you're getting a false explanation for what inflation is. That's your AI. So all it's doing is taking data and spitting it out. And it's wrong. I'd rather go to, let's see, what is inflation in simple terms? Again, in AI, the general, it's the same thing. It's wrong. What causes inflation? Inflation is driven by a general rise in prices. Again, wrong. Keynesian. The latest gold price forecast for 2026 have Wall Street holding firm near 6,000 to 6,300. This is one day ago. So right here, gold price forecast 6,000 to 6,300. I think it's going to be higher than that. Again, these guys don't understand inflation in the first place. JP Morgan, February 25th, raises long-term gold price forecast 15%. I don't know what they're 4,300. It's over 5,000. Again, these forecasts are by idiots, so we don't listen to too much of this stuff. Why gold is falling, but it's Robert Kiyosaki. He's a scammer. I'm just reading it just a second. So I'm getting nothing. Let's see. Do we have any answer? The dollar recovery is itself a consequence of oil. The Hormuz closure has pushed Brent toward 84, reigniting inflation fears that reduce the probability of Fed rate cuts. Why is the dollar going up? So they're blaming the Straits of Hormuz and oil. Why is silver falling? Same as gold. All right. So we're really not getting any answers. Now, that's your AI. Are you comfortable with AI? Would you replace all your workers for AI? Did AI give you any answer? Did it analyze? What was all the things that AI did? They analyzed, they problem solved, they reason. Did any of that? Did it do any of that? No. It spit out some bullshit that isn't even right. It's Keynesian, but that's what's out there. The Keynesian's out there, so it's just taking what other people said. It didn't do shit. It didn't solve any problems. It didn't think on its own. It didn't reason. So I'm going to spend all this money on AI at my company and get rid of my employees for this shit. Then they're not even right. If I worked at a company and they asked me what inflation is, I says it's money printing, which lowers the value of the dollar. You're not going to find it there because these are all Keynesian idiots that don't understand. So they just, what did Joe Blow say? Wait, Peter Schiff said this. Let's use his. Well, he's wrong. Well, yeah, but we don't know. We don't care. We're just going to use what Peter Schiff said. I mean, this is the problem with it. It's so crazy that people don't know, but then AI is using what people don't know, and they're saying this is what's happening. And they're all fucking wrong. So AI, all it does is repeat what others have said. And if it's wrong, it's wrong. AI and finance, I want to do, okay, give me my March actuals. All right, pull the general ledger. How is it going to do that? Change the date. You got to change the date from Jan Feb to Jan Feb March. Maybe you call it year to date. Maybe, but maybe you just need Marches. Somebody has to go into the program and change it because it's not smart enough to do it on its own because it's a moron. It's just pulling data that you ask it to pull. Like I asked it, what is the gold price? What's the gold forecast for July 2026? So I asked it that question and it pulled it. It was wrong, but it pulled it. I'm still sticking with $10,000 gold. It's just when will it happen? Right? Nothing has changed. Gold has gone down only in the paper world, not in the physical world. Let's ask this question. What is the physical price of gold? And my caveat versus the paper price. So now I'm getting really deep in it. What is the physical price of gold versus, yeah, I got to spell the with an E. I know. I'm pulling a Bobby. So I'm asking, what is the physical price of gold versus the paper price? What do we think the answer is going to be? It won't have a clue, and it'll give me the paper price. Physical gold involves purchasing tangible assets like coins or bars, which actually sell at 5 to 10% premium above the spot price due to fabrication and distribution cost. Well, that's not true. Paper gold ETFs futures track the spot price, offering lower cost but higher risk, with potential for significant price disconnects during high demand or market. Nothing is true there. Physical price includes a premium over the spot price due to manufacturing. No, that's all the market. It doesn't. It's not because you got to manufacture it. Paper price tracks the wholesale price, 5,003 as of March 16th, often used for high volume trading in ETFs. Usage example: physical used for wealth preservation, long-term hedging. Long-term hedging against crisis and direct ownership without counterparty risk. Paper used for quick liquidity, trading place, and avoiding storage. And you don't buy paper to avoid storage and insurance. I don't pay any storage or insurance fees. What the fuck are they talking about? Physical price, bullion price, retail gold price, tangible paper price, spot price, gold futures. Well, no, physical price is spot price, retail spot. But you just said it's a 5 to 10% markup of paper. That's what it says, right? Physical price includes a premium over the spot price due to manufacturing and dealer markup, 5 to 10%. There's only 200,000. Well, let's say there's a 1 million of these, and you got 20 million in paper. Obviously, if there's less physical coins than paper, if the supply is lower, the physical price has to be much, much higher, which is my whole thesis. Because it's physical and there's far less than this paper bullshit going on, the price of the physical has to be 10 times higher. It's not spot plus five because spot is not okay. We know there's 200. We know there's 200,000 tons of gold. How many contracts are there? 1 million tons? How can you price 1 million tons the same as you price 200,000 tons? There's a lot. There's only 200,000 tons. There's 1 million tons of paper. It can't be used as the price because it's all based on supply. If the supply is much higher in paper, the price is nowhere near what it should be in physical. Hello, McFly, is anybody home? And apparently nobody's home, but this is what AI gives you. It's false. It's not 5 to 10% high, and it's got nothing to do with manufacturing, distribution, and dealer markup. It's all dealer markup, and the dealers are idiots and they're not 5 or 10%. They're just pick a number. The ounce of gold was $100 over. Now it's $200 over. It's got nothing to do with markup, manufacturing, distribution. It's the dealer trying to make money, but he's using spot to come up with the price, which is totally wrong, which is why we run and dance after we buy physical gold at the gold dealer, because they're using the wrong price. They're using this paper supply that 10 times more than the physical supply price. We see it all the time. You look at a 25 count Joe Montana card versus a 100 count Joe Montana card. It's not close. The 25 counts are worth a lot more. The Joe Montana rookie is worth a lot more as a PSA 10 than 9 because there's only a few 10s and there's a lot of 9s, and the price is 100,000 for the 10 and 10,000 for the 9. And that's why, because there's so much less supply in a 10. There's so much less supply in gold and silver than there are in paper. So AI is fucked. So people are going to fire people because they need to cut costs. And they think AI is going to do anything. AI isn't going to help you at all. All right. So it did not know the answer that there's a lot less physical than paper. And it's not ETFs. They didn't mention options and derivatives either in their description. All right, let's go to algorithm. And we're all going to really love this. We hear the term algorithm a lot. Nobody knows what the fuck it means. And is this another Madoff Ponzi scheme? And I answer yes. Algorithm, a precise step-by-step set of rules or instructions followed to solve a specific problem or accomplish a task. Commonly used in computing for data processing, calculations, and automated decision-making. They are language-independent procedures transferring inputs used to get the desired outputs. Examples: search engine algorithm determines which information is retrieved from a massive data set. Social sorts, prioritizes, and delivers content like TikTok, Instagram. Suggests products or movies. I don't want that suggested. I don't want you looking at what I like and then saying, well, here's what it is. Encryption secures data by scrambling is so unauthorized persons cannot read it. Recipe, a real world example of a set of rules to bake a cake. So an algorithm is basically a menu, a recipe. And this is the problem in football. Oh, go for it on fourth down. Well, if we look at what others have done against, and they don't base it on teams, they base it for the whole lot. This is what we'll do. And we're like, what the fuck? That's just bullshit. That's why the coaches get fired because, oh, I'm supposed to go for two when I'm down two touchdowns. I'm supposed to go for fourth down and two or fourth and three. The book says do it because the algorithm says it. When the gold and silver are going down now, it's based on an algorithm. The algorithm's selling the gold and silver, not a person. And, so we see gold going down today. It's because of this algorithm. So it's looking at a recipe. If the dollar goes up and if oil goes up and if this goes up and if that goes up, you sell the gold because the dollar's going up. That's the algorithm that we're being punished with right now. If the dollar goes up, you sell the gold. So it's just a computer selling our gold, not supply and demand, not from people, but because the dollar is going up, even worthless because you printed the shit out of it. You have 150 trillion out there, way more than demand. The value has gone to zero, and yet you somehow think the dollar is getting stronger and that gold should go down because the dollar is getting stronger. That's what we're dealing with. A stronger dollar because of the oil price going up, how that's related. It is not. How it's correlated. It is not. It's all bullshit. But you do not get a stronger dollar. You cannot get a stronger dollar. I mean, first of all, it wouldn't go stronger because of the oil price going up. Oh, well, that will lower interest rates because the oil will go up. So interest rates will go down and make the dollar stronger. What a bunch of bullshit. You can't. You printed 150 trillion of these things. They're not getting stronger ever, period. They're going to zero. And this is really our big concern right now. The dollar, they're looking at, because oil is going up, interest rates will go down and da, 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 da. And the dollar will get stronger. So therefore, we got to short gold because if the dollar's stronger, you don't want to buy gold. Who says the dollar's stronger? In what world did the dollar get stronger? How the fuck could the dollar get stronger? You printed it. It can't get stronger. It is done. It's toast. It is worthless. It cannot get stronger because you keep printing it. And as I say, each month you're printing the interest on the debt, the government employees, the Social Security, and the wonderful defense contractors who just steal the money. You're paying all that. You're printing more and more and more. They're not looking at printing for the dollar. So the dollar's worthless, but they're not showing it. So these lovely algorithms are fucking up our gold and silver because they're going, well, the dollar's going to be worth more because interest rates will go up because of the oil, and then we'll short gold, and they're the ones shorting the gold. I assume through banks. I don't really know how or who, but somebody has to trigger. I assume JP Morgan because they're the biggest crooks in the world, that they've got the algorithms working and the price going down because they keep thinking the dollar's stronger. Against what and who? It's impossible. I've been watching that latest Tom Cruise movie, the fake Mission Impossible, and you got that algorithm writing everything and doing everything, and that they're chasing it, right? So that's how number one ends, and then we'll see number two. And that's what it reminds me of. Somebody has taken the algorithm and they're fucking around, and the gold's going down for no reason. You did not find more supply. Demand did not dry up. Physical gold did not drop, but paper gold's dropping because the dollar's going up. It's total bullshit. So this is why we got to ignore COMEX. It's not the real price. So let's look at our buddies in China and what are they doing? So gold price in China today, 48.97 versus 40. Well, it's about Why is China down? Why is China not using physical? But China's not. Now let's look at China's silver today. $86. We're at $76. Why is there a $10 difference? Again, this is why is it stopped? Why is it an hour ago? Why is it 86 and not 100? What would be driving that price down? Nothing. So algorithms are just computerized formulas that look at statistics and data like a recipe, and they're bullshit because the variables change. Tom Brady does not play on New England anymore. He's on Tampa now. So you can't use that algorithm and you have to write a new one or change it. And even if you write a new one, you're fucked because you can't use old Tampa Bay stuff because Brady just started. So algorithms are useless. But AI uses the algorithm to get the data to spit out those answers. Algorithms are bullshit. They're a Madoff. AI is a bigger bullshit. It's a double Madoff, right? So you think Madoff was a Ponzi schemer. It ain't nothing yet. AI is the biggest Ponzi scheme because none of it's accurate. None of it's useful. I called up Spectre to speak to Blofeld because if I talk to AI, I can't get an answer. Oh, well, we'll put you into chat. All it does is put you into chat, and now I get to talk to some AI shit in chat, and I can't ask it the question that I want to ask. Oh, you'll have to call and talk to somebody. Exactly. Because AI doesn't work. It can never work. It doesn't know what the fuck it's doing. It's just spitting out data that's useless. They don't even know what inflation is. It's money printing making the value of the dollar drop. It said it there, but it didn't know what it was saying. It was saying because prices go up, the value of the dollar drops. That has nothing to do with it. The prices go up, the value of the dollar didn't drop. If the demand for gold goes up, the dollar didn't drop. I just need more dollars because gold went up. If oil goes, the supply of oil drops, and oil price goes up, and I need more money to buy the oil. It's because the supply went down. It had nothing to do with inflation. It had nothing to do with prices. It's because supply dropped, so price went up, so I got to pay more. The value of my dollar didn't go anywhere. It's the same value. It's just supply dropped and the price went up. Demand went up for gold and the price went up. It had nothing to do with my dollars. And nothing, they're worth the same as they were. The price didn't go up because of the dollar. The price went up because demand or lack of supply. Or in home, lack of demand is going to lower the price. That didn't mean my dollar went up. My dollar didn't get stronger because the house went from 500 grand to 400 grand. The market said, I'm not paying 500 and couldn't afford it. And the prices dropped because the market says, sorry, the market, you want 500 and the market's down here at 250. So you want to sell your house, it's 250. That's the market saying, I'm not paying 500. That's it. That has nothing to do with inflation. Inflation's money printing, and there's too much money, they lose value. That has nothing to do with values of houses, gas, or gold. No way, no how. I saw it in a movie once. All right, what's going on here? So what is this? What is this? Been too long, old man, everything good. Who the fuck is this? What is that? Like, they don't say hi. Is this Howard? This is Joe. This is Bobby. Where the fuck is that? Right? You don't get that. It's unbelievable. All right. Questions or comments on that? All we can do is we all bet football here in our world, or we play poker here. So let's just say you're betting a football game, and we're getting blown out, and it's 20 to nothing. It's 30 to nothing. It's 40. Like the Texas Tech Oregon game. Oh, we played it under, but Oregon wins what, 26 to nothing. And they just kept scoring and getting the interceptions. Or the Indiana Oregon game when Indiana won by 50 points. And they just kept scoring and scoring and scoring. And that's how you look at what's happening with gold now. You just say it's paper, it's going down because of analytics and AI, and most of the analytics. It's going down because the dollar's going up, but none of the reasons are valid for the gold price to go down. It's a screaming buying opportunity because they're looking left instead of right. The dollar is still printed to zero. It still has no value, which means that this price should be going up, not down, because this is the correlation. If you print this and it's worthless, this has to go up, right? And the demand. So as this goes down, it doesn't necessarily mean this goes up because there's got to be demand for it. But if you have huge demand for silver, as we do, and very low supply for silver, as we do, that hasn't changed. The demand is still very strong. The supply is still very low. What this does really doesn't matter. That's why this is based on demand. But as this is going down, this is much more appealing. So why is this going down? Did they find supply? No. Did the demand stop? No. Then why is this going down? Why is gold going down? So if nothing has changed here, the demand is still huge. The supply is still very low. This price should not be going down. All right, we have a war. Well, but supply and demand are still the same. There's still a huge demand for it, and the supply didn't grow because there's a war. So what the fuck are we doing here? And that's really the key to it. So again, don't worry about COMEX. It's a paper market. We don't really care about that. We care about a physical. Now, it only affects us if we wanted to sell an ounce of gold or silver today, and now it's lower. Okay, you got to wait. That's it. But when it hits 6, 7,000, 8,000, then you're going to be glad you held it, right? So silver today, you got to be buying it. I mean, it's just a screaming buy at 77 or whatever. Again, it hit 71, 72 over Christmas, and it went all the way up to 120. They're playing games with it, the banks, because they don't have it. So they can't cover. Again, they're trying to get out of their options. It could be margin calls that are happening today. The algorithms, because the dollar's supposedly stronger, but I don't know what world it's stronger. So nothing has changed for gold and silver. So don't panic, don't sell it. It's just one of those games where the team's hot and they're getting intercept, Indiana against Oregon, and they scored again. They scored again. They scored again. Another pick six by Oregon. Yeah, let's draft that quarterback because he's really good. He threw how many pick sixes? I love hearing these shows, and they're like, oh, Dante Moore, he's great. He sucks. Oh, Arch Manning, he'll be the number one pick. Oh, good. We'll be betting against that. And then they wonder why there's quarterback problems in the league. Why would you choose Arch Manning and Dante Moore as your quarterbacks? In what world are these guys good quarterbacks? In what world are you going to win with these guys? It's bad enough having Daniel Jones and Caleb and Fields. These guys all suck, should never have been drafted. Before, Hines Ward and Anton Randall were wide receivers, and that's what Lamar is, and Caleb and all these guys. They're not quarterbacks. So that's what you have. And then they're going to draft these guys that suck and then wonder, well, where's all the good quarterbacks? Well, you keep drafting guys that can't quarterback to be quarterbacks. Arch Manning is nowhere to be a quarterback, or Dante Moore. But the point I was making was that Indiana kept rolling, right? And they beat them like 60 to 20 or whatever. And that's the point. Indiana kept rolling, and that's what we got now. It's going. The price is going down, and we're like, what the fuck? And then, believe me, they're going to start loading up on this because it is very low. and the Chinese and the Russians and the Indians and the BRICS and the Saudis are going to be buying because it's fucking low. It's way too low. So they keep pushing it down. I'm sure it's mighty Trump because he's really smart, isn't he? What a fucking idiot! Yeah, let's go to war with Iran. We have no chance of winning, but yeah, what's the difference? We'll just. Oh wait, we don't have any missiles. Oh, we'll make more. Oh, it's going to take 2 years to make them. I guess we're fucked, but what the hell? I'll build another hotel in Manhattan or something. The dumbest guy I've ever. Now we're really seeing how stupid the whole political spectrum is. You got Trump, a moron. You've got Scott Simpson, the Treasury Secretary, an idiot, a George Soros guy. You've got the defender of war, Secretary of War. You've got all these idiots. Oh, we're winning. Now, in what world are you winning? You didn't win in Russia. Ukraine got killed, and you're not winning here. And Venezuela was real intelligent. You took their oil, but then you found out their oil is worthless. Well, we're going broke. What should we do? Well, how about those 9,000 tons of gold you got? Well, we really don't have them. So I know Lou kept arguing that point, and then I got him yesterday with Mark McGuire saying there is no gold in Fort Knox, and he's sure of it, and I'm sure of it because you play that card. If I needed money and I have gold, I would use the gold, but they're not. I would raise it to 100,000 an ounce and use it. All right, basketball. I was looking at stats today and looking at you have two guys over 30 points, Luca Brasi on the Lakers and Shea on Oklahoma. Then in the 20s, Anthony Davis of Minnesota, Tyrese Maxey. Now he's the guy that got hurt for Philly. Jaylen Brown on Boston, Kawhi Leonard for San Diego, Nikola Jokic, Denver, Donovan Mitchell, Cleveland, Giannis Antelope Popo for Milwaukee, Steph Curry, Lori Markin. What do they got? A girl in here on Utah. Joel Embiid, Philadelphia, Jalen Brunson, New York, Kevin Durant, Houston, Devin Booker, Arizona, James Harden, San Diego, Jamal Murray, Denver, Cade Cunningham, Detroit, Michael Porter, Brooklyn. They're playing really well. Victor Wembanyama of San Antonio, Demi Moore for Portland, Pascal Siakam, Indiana, Austin Reeves of the Lakers, Keyonte George. Where do they get these guys from? Jalen Johnson, Atlanta, Paolo Banchero for Orlando. Is he Cuban now? We're getting Cubans in basketball. Norm Powell, Boog Powell's son for Miami, Jared Jackson. So basically, this is how bad the league is. You have only two guys averaging 30 points, Luca Brasi and Shea Alexander, and then Anthony Davis, Maxey. It's a terrible league. This is the problem when you're betting it. You got to bet on these idiots, and they're pretty bad. All right, let's look at scores from yesterday. I was pretty good yesterday. I was mentally noting it. I think Monday we'll start actually making some picks. So let's look at yesterday's games. We have Oklahoma 113, Dallas 108. Orlando getting 10.5 covered. OKC's being overcovered. They're like Notre Dame and Alabama. Instead of laying 4, you're laying 10 with them because everybody's going to bet them because they're Oklahoma. The Pistons 130. The Wizards 117. I did like the Wizards because I said you're not winning by 20 on the road, but I liked it over more, and it was 247. And that one I actually won on the over of 233. Washington with a terrible defense. They gave up that guy, got 80 points. And Detroit, very weak defense and a good offense. So Washington was able to get 117 on them. So of course Detroit's 130. You expect it because Washington has no defense. So Washington looks like an over team when they play a good team. Charlotte beat Miami 136-106. On another over team here, 236. They went to 242. The Knicks in Indiana. I did like the over in this game. The Knicks score a lot, not much defense. Indiana, terrible defense. And the Knicks win 136-110, 223. We got to 246. So now I'm starting to see these weak teams, you play them over. They have no defense. That's why they're weak. It's always the signal of the weak team. They don't have a defense. They don't have a quarterback. The Lions, weak team. They have no defense. Cincinnati, Joe Burrow, no defense. They're all over teams because they have it, except for Oakland. Oakland has no defense and no offense. They're just the Z team. So you can't really play them over. They don't score. Cleveland, Milwaukee. Cleveland 123, Milwaukee 116. I think I like them over 239. They got 227. Milwaukee is a home dog getting 12 and a half. I thought was really weird. Cleveland won 123, 116, but Cleveland, they do score. So when we look at the LA and Oklahoma have the two 30-point scores on it, those are over teams. They're going to score a lot. They don't play defense. Luca Brasi can't play defense. And Shea, I doubt, plays defense. Shea with an I. It's Shay. The guy spelled it wrong. Phoenix played Minnesota. Minnesota wins 116-104. Not much there. Now here, the total was 220.5 and the game ended 220. I guarantee you they knew what to do at the end. Do we score or not? Vegas, Don Corleone, we want the game under 220 and a half, so don't score at the end. I bet if we watched highlights of the last 30 seconds, they just dribbled the ball out. No, we got to stay under 220 and a half, and we're at 220 right now. I guarantee you that's a fixed game. Denver 124-96 over Philly. Again, Philly's score was out. If Philly's score played, it would have went an over. The guys in the top 6 or 7. And we got Denver at home. Jokic didn't do anything. He only played 25 minutes. I looked at the box score to see what was going on. He only played 5 minutes, or at the time. Oh, he played 25 minutes, but he only had 4 points. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? He has 5 points, and we're in the fourth quarter. So again, you'd say it's fixed, but they covered the 15 and a half. They win by 30, and they were laying 15 and a half. So maybe that's why he was out. In their last game, San Antonio 132, Sacramento 104. I love the over in the game, 236. It was 233 and a half. We got the W. Hard to play San Antonio laying the 13 and a half there, but you know they're going to score a lot, and that's what you got. And this, again, Sacramento with 18 wins and no defense. So now we're starting to dive in, and we see, instead of fucking around with the point spread, we now fuck around with the totals. And we go, wait a minute, good scoring team and no defense like Washington. These games are going to be over. All right, but we don't have a big enough sample size, so let's keep sampling. Golden State, 33 wins, goes to Boston, 45 wins. Boston, 11 and a half to 16 and a half. What did Boston do yesterday? I thought maybe they didn't play yesterday. No. What did they do Monday? Yeah, Boston won 120-112. It was over 216. I remember picking that, and it was 232. So you think they have a great defense, but they can score. So now they were off Tuesday. Let's go to today. And Boston is 216 against Golden State without Steph Curry. Boston's laying 11 and a half. I think you take Boston and lay the 11 and a half. Without Steph Curry, it's hard to go over, and Boston has a pretty good defense. I don't think Boston will score in the hundreds. So or I don't think Golden State gets to 100. So I think it's 115 to 98, and that's going to be close to the 216. But I think they handled the 11 and a half. Portland goes to Indiana. Portland 11 and a half, 232. It's a lot of points to lay. Indy, a weak defensive team. So I think we go over here. 232 seems like an over bet. Oklahoma, now they're playing back-to-back games, gets Brooklyn. 54 wins, gets 17. Will they play Shea? Will he rest? This is when they're going to rest him, is back-to-back against the Nets. They're not going to get up for this game. I doubt they'll play him. Oklahoma, 19 and an over-under 213. So I think this is clearly an over bet at 213. I think Oklahoma gets into the 130s easily on this defense, and they'll have the sub in the fourth quarter. This is like a Ohio State playing Grambling game when they're laying 50 points. The first two Ohio State teams are on the bench in the fourth quarter. So there's no way Oklahoma plays in the fourth quarter. So you worry about the 20. I think it's a lot. And then Brooklyn, 213, I think, gets over at that. So I think the only way you play this is over. I'm not laying 20 points. I don't care who the team is. Unless it was primetime Lakers with Magic and Kareem. Then I might go over. San Diego goes to New Orleans. New Orleans, 2.5, 233. I don't know why San Diego's a dog here. I like San Diego as a live dog. The better 34 wins to 23 wins. 233. I don't know enough about New Orleans. Are they a high scoring team or not? And San Diego seems to be scoring. So San Diego will probably win this game, and you get them as a dog. Toronto goes to Chicago. Looks like an over game. Toronto, 7.5 point favorite on the road, 234. I think this you go over 234. Utah goes to Minnesota. Minnesota 42 wins, Utah 20. Minnesota laying 13.5 and 230. I think this is an over. Minnesota with Anthony Davis and Utah, I think they had a scorer in there. And we'll have to write that down, but I would think this is an over. I think Minnesota puts up a lot of points, but I'm laying 13.5. Big number. Atlanta and Dallas. Dallas is not that good. 23 wins. Atlanta 37. Atlanta laying 8.5. I do not like to lay 8.5 on the road in any sport. 237.5. I don't touch this. That's too high of a total. It's like a 67 in college football. If it ain't Texas Tech and Boise playing, I'm not interested. Denver goes to Memphis. Denver won yesterday, and they are laying 13.5, 243. I wouldn't touch this. Is Memphis that powerful, or is their defense that bad? And will Denver play on a back-to-back? So I don't like anything about this line. 13.5 is too high. 243 is way too high. And apparently I don't want to go under in the game if it's 243. In our last game, the Lakers in Houston, we've got Luca Brasi going against Houston with apparently Kevin Durant's on there. Houston, a 2.5 point favorite, 222. I like the Lakers getting points with Luca Brasi. Houston doesn't have, they got Durant. He sucks. 222, probably an over. I don't know. I don't know Houston's scoring, but with the Lakers are an over team with Luca Brasi. So probably that's it. So that is today's NBA action. Starting Monday, we will start to try to pick games. First we walk and then we can run. And that's what we're doing. We're walking right now, seeing the scores, problem solving the games, realizing the shit teams have no defense. We can bet them over. Now the focus is starting to come in. This is how you problem solve. What's the problem? Picking the games. Boston, Golden State. Boston, 11.5, 216. Problem solve it. What type of teams are they? Can Boston blow out Golden State? Steph Curry's not playing. Where are they going to get their offense from? So it leads you to taking Boston on a problem solving because they got Jack Tatum back and they got another scorer and they're playing, you know, they're 45. Golden State's good, but without Steph Curry, and it's on the East Coast, so they're going to struggle. Let's go to the NIFL, the NFL, and see. Let's see. What do we have? Jalen Waddle goes to Denver. I think it's a big mistake for Denver. I don't think he's that good. The fact he played for Alabama and was picked sixth, he didn't produce at all. He was with Tag Tagliavoa, his quarterback in college, and he didn't produce at all either. The Eagles with A.J. Brown, nobody wants A.J. Brown. He's a troublemaker. It's like Carl Kaepernick. Nobody wanted him. He's a troublemaker. NFL season will reportedly start on a Wednesday night. Where's this game? At the moon? Are they going to go to Pluto to play a game or Saturn? They have to set up a stadium first. Maybe the aliens are up there, the predators, and they can. No, the aliens are up on Saturn making a stadium so they can play. This is the same thing we read. Aaron Rodgers, this might be Jawan Jennings, the Niners, Tyreek Hill, Kirk Cousins, George Pickens. These are like the top 5 left. See, I hate questions like this. Well, the Broncos traded for Waddle. What's holding up the Eagles from trading A.J. Brown? Well, what do they want for him? That's the Max Crosby problem. You want 2 first-round picks. Well, I can get the same player, and it didn't cost them any picks. It's value. Every life is value, right? You date a girl, you're getting value out of her. You have friends, or do you get value from them? Why do you have a friend? Well, we like poker together. Are you getting value from them? I struggle with friends because I don't really understand it. I don't get friendships. They're just you're trying to. If I date a girl, oh, can I have money? Oh, so you're just dating me for my money, or you're dating me because I have money. What if I didn't have money? Would you still date me? And that's a lot of it. Like Carmen, if she just wanted my money, oh, let's go on a trip, and you can pay for everything. And you're like, don't you have any money to pay for anything? I mean, it's like, no, you're supposed to pay for me. I'm the pretty girl, and that's the point. So, oh, I'm stuck with you because I have money. You want my money. You don't want my love or my friendship. What will you do for me? It's all for you. And see, that ends right away, right? You have no, but that's what most friendships are. It's very hard to understand. This is why you end up just on your own because I don't have to deal with half the shit. Yeah, I see Alyssa a little bit. I try to help her out, but like I say, I get calls when she needs a ride. I don't. Today, where are you? Yesterday. No. Supposedly we're getting together Friday. I'm not holding my breath. I'll believe it when I see it. But that's a lot. Are you getting fair value in your relationships? It should be working together as a team, right? I help you, you help me. That's the fair value in a relationship. Well, it's like in a business. Fair value. All right, I want $80 for this. I really want $100 for this. You give me the $100. You give me the $100, and I'll give you that. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, that's not AI. It calls me right back when I hang up. But this is a relationship. You're going to give me $100, and I'm going to give you this ounce of silver. And that's really what a friendship is. I'm going to give you this, and you're going to give me that. And what is it that we be friends? Well, we can talk about sports together. Okay. You're here. I want to teach you, and you want to learn. Okay. You're getting today, you learned on AI and algorithms and basketball. Normally, you're here during football for my football picks and my analysis and my problem solving of the games. That's why you come, and that's fine. Then you buy my packages. So we traded. It's a fair trade. I get money for information and skill that I know, and you get picks that you make money on also. And you realize I don't go 100%. Some of you guys, you make me laugh. Oh, you lost the game. Yeah. What did you think I'd pick them all? Like, why would you think I'd pick them all? I'm good. I'm not that good. I don't think it's possible because of turnovers and injuries to possibly go 100%. But thank you for thinking I can. I guess I do present myself well, but that's what we have here, right? You get my knowledge on football picking and you make money with it. So you'll take my knowledge to make money. So it benefits you to get my picks to make money. And then you figure out, well, if I give them $100, but I make 1,000, it's worth it. So that's why you come here. Now it's the gold and silver. I'm making you a fortune in gold and silver, and you're going to make. We haven't even begun yet. If you started with me before, you're buying gold at 1,800. It's now 5,000. You were buying silver at 2025. It's now 80. It's all going higher. And you got out of the dollar, and you got out of the Bitcoin, you got out of the stock market. So it's a fair trade is what we're trying to. That's what life is, fair trades. The problem is you see a hot girl and she uses you. Oh, you want to have sex with me? Well, that's going to cost you. And then maybe you don't get sex with her. Maybe you do. I don't know. Do you both enjoy the sex? Or just the fact she's pretty? But then she talks and you have nothing in common. That's why looks are you got to look past the looks, because if they can't talk and they can't do anything, there's no okay, fine, we had sex, okay, next, because what's the point? Well, she's hot. Well, okay, but that goes for about 5 minutes. So you're looking at everything. Why do you have the friend? It's the fair trade. The girl wants your money. You want the sex. Okay, that's fine. Maybe you don't want sex with her. Maybe she's not your type, but you like the conversation. Okay. But then you're not giving her money. There's no money to be given. So then it's fair, right? Okay, I don't have to give her money. We spend time together. We have a dinner. We watch Netflix or whatever it is, and it's a fair trade. Okay, fine. So we take sex off the table. Then you're taking money off the table. Fine. But that's what you're doing in everything. You're doing it at work. I'm going to the job. You're going to pay me. And then if I have a real shit boss, or I don't like the pay, or I don't like the way you're treated, it's not a good relationship. I get up and leave. And that's why I have a lot of jobs on my resume. I didn't like the job. I don't like the way you're treating me. Go fuck off. And I have a skill set with the masters. I'll find another job. And that's what you do. And that's the real way you need to look at it. Is it a fair trade or not? If it is, I mean, that's what you're looking for at work. And, I want a job where I'm taught what to do or how they do it their way. Now, I don't need to be taught Excel or SAP at every job, but I do need to be shown where is it and how do I pull it. And then, oh, okay, now I know, and you can leave me alone. But jobs where it's like hit the ground running, that's never successful, because you can't. It's like playing golf. I can play golf, but if I play at this course, it's different than that course. So I need to understand this course. So you have to explain this course to me. I can't hit the ground running. It's going to take longer if I hit the ground running than if you sat there for a half hour and said, well, this is a par three, and this, you got to watch the water on the left, and there's sand traps here, the trees are there, and this, that, and the other. And then you understand the holes, and you go, oh, okay, now I can play. So it's much easier to have communication. And that's the biggest problem, is the lack of communication. I worked at an insurance company, and they wanted me to do actuary work, which I never did before, but I knew statistics. So I did the statistic part right, but they never trained me on the explanation part. I had no idea. Well, you got to look here and there. I think, oh, fuck off. What am I supposed to do? You have to train me. That's your job. You're the boss. And they wouldn't train me. And it was like, this is a train wreck. So I'm in a model, and I'm kind of calculating it out. My numbers were good. They used my number because the model was right, but I had no idea, nor did I have any desire to figure it out. I didn't care. It had nothing to do with the model. Was exciting. The why we're using it, who the fuck cares? Who knows? It's not clear to me, and that really isn't my job, and I'm not going to do it. That's a bad job, right? You should explain things to me. Well, here's the model, and then here's, this is what's going on. And if the boss can't explain it to you, he's a fucking idiot, right? And that's what it is. It's just really ridiculous. What the jobs are. Some jobs you get good bosses, and they kind of explain things. They communicate with you, and it's a fair trade. You're going to show me what I need to do, and then I can go do it. How about that? Or you can set me up to fail by just, hit the ground running. That isn't going to do anybody any good. That's a stupid thing. What's the point of that? You're setting me up to fail. Oh, I don't want to work there. I don't want to work at a company you're setting me up to fail because you're not going to train me. Anyway, so let's see what else there is. So not much going on in free agency. Basketball we covered. Let's look at Alligator's last things yesterday. It was at a key point.
Granger knows that if you're a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility and your machinery isn't working right,
economic science, it doesn't actually exist in. You get a crisis of this sort, the immediate move is into perceived security, which is the dollar, because it's liquid, it's big, it's liquid. So what do? You rush out and buy dollars. And if you look at the dollar's trade weighted, it has indeed risen from 96 to about 101. So I think that's a lot of the answer. Inevitably, once people actually sort of think things through, you find that there's a backwash out of the dollar into the precious metals. I mean, we saw this in the wake of the 2008-9 financial crisis, when gold fell from around about $1,000 down to a low of 680 before going on to 1920 or something with September 2011. So this is, I think, normal behavior. The first wave is into the dollar, and of course, the professionals, if you like, in the market, the bullion banks running positions, and the large hedge funds will look at this as an opportunity to get prices down so that they can buy these metals at discounted prices. So that, I think, is the initial effect. But when you look at the mining sector, the mining sector has been running very, very powerfully. So
the question was, why is gold and silver going down right now? is what he was asked. Well, why is it dropping? His award should be going up, and that was his explanation.
If you're, let us say, losing money on your Nvidia or your Tesla or your, Microsoft or your whatever it is, then what do? Do you sell the things you're losing money on? No, you don't. You sell the things that you made a profit on, and that inevitably, I think, is putting pressure on the mining stocks. So that would be my view. Again, I mean, if you're a trader in mining stocks, you count up to 10 and then just buy the socks off it.
Yeah. How much do you think? Obviously, some of the reason why the gold price has cooled a tiny bit or a little bit would be, I guess, expectations that perhaps the Fed won't be reducing rates anymore. You were mentioning there that you do sometimes see these sell-offs before the next leg up, right? Are you expecting that we might see a bit of a pullback in gold, depending on how long this goes on for?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I don't forecast prices. That's the first thing I must make clear. But I wouldn't be surprised because, I mean, even though, I will claim, but I hope you believe me, that I got a better understanding of what the hell's going on than the average investment manager. We have to bear in mind that the average investment manager is a macroeconomically driven individual. And macroeconomics is a false economic science. It doesn't actually exist in reality. So consequently, everybody in the investment game is basically making decisions which are divorced from reality. Eventually, that sorts itself out. As they say, the market always gets it right in the end. But there are quite long periods where the market gets it horribly wrong or goes to places for completely the wrong reasons. And when you get a chaotic situation such as we have at the moment, then that's what's going to happen. It's quite simple. There are big lies being told. I mean, for example, they talk about, speculators, getting out of gold and silver. Now, come on, the speculators do not have positions in gold and silver. They're minimal. I mean, just look at the open interest in silver, which I referred to earlier. If you look also at the longs, if you like, in the COMEX longs in the gold contract, they're as low as they've been for some considerable time as well. I mean, the net figure obviously is slightly changes because then you're looking at the other side of the transaction as well. So, yeah, we've seen this before. It produces volatility, which is unreasonable. And I'll give you another example of where the whole thing is mispriced. If you look at, if you understand what gold really is, gold is final settlement. It is real money. Everything else is credit. This was originally said by John Pierpont Morgan back in 1912, and it's still true today, even though nobody thinks it, but it is true. The long-term purchasing power of gold is remarkably steady. Okay, now, so how do you explain the situation where, if you look at the value of base metals measured in gold, they should be not too far away from that steady level. But actually, if you look at an index of base metals, it's around about 25% of its that long-term value. In other words, what fiat currencies have done is they have concealed a substantial decline in the value of base metals. Those base metals will normalize. So even without a change in the purchasing power of the dollar, you are likely to see base metals rising on average by roughly 300% to get back to normality.
So I'm saying they're 10% low, times them by 10%. He's saying 300%. So $5,000 gold times 300% puts it at 150,000, and silver at, let's say, 100 is really $30,000. And so he's right. They're not fairly priced. This is why we hold them. This is why we basically have to ignore COMEX. Right now it's down a little bit. That won't stay, and it'll go. And that's what he's saying. It won't stay. It'll be much higher.
Now, if you put on top of that a declining purchasing power of the dollar, then who knows where it goes? In other words, I mean, and this is true of all commodities, incidentally. I've just taken base metals as an example. But food is an interesting one. Agri-products, as it were, are an interesting one because that similarly is depressed. And so we are likely to see in real terms a substantial rise in their value. Not only that, but with the shortage of fertilizers as a result of this ridiculous attack on Iran and their response and the closure of Hormuz. And at the same time, I mean, what's that going to do to food prices? Even if there is no further decline in the purchasing power of the dollar or sterling or the euro or the yen, they're going to go through the roof. I mean,
well, it compounds with oil going up as well, right? So you've got food prices going up, plus the oil and the transportation costs going up. It all, yeah.
Well, absolutely. And the logistics. I mean, for example, one of the problems with the closure of Hormuz is that vital ships' bunkers are now no longer available. I mean, somebody. I think it was a professor of trade finance or some trade or whatever. I think it was in one of the London universities. Tells his students that oil basically is a component of over 45,000 prices. One way or the other. I mean,
it would be. Yeah. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? Because you need it to. Anything that is transported, or most things, is based on oil.
Yeah, it's not just transport, but we've just been talking about fertilizers, for example,
and energy prices as well.
Exactly. So oil goes to what, $200, $300 a barrel, $400 a barrel. I mean, basically, what we're looking at is something like $400 a barrel, just to return to where it should be, priced in real money. And I would say that, basically this closure of Hormuz and the whole of this stupid war situation is just accelerating the process. It's not changing the direction of anything. It's that, the idea that oil is going up only because of the Middle Eastern problems is actually an error. It's something which, people need to understand that oil and also all these other basic materials are wildly undervalued because of the consequences of a fiat currency system. So, and not only that, but once prices start rising, because governments will try and subsidize the lot, which basically means that demand for them continues while the supply doesn't. Demand accelerates while the supply collapses or is restricted. It's basically going to collapse the value. In other words, the purchasing power of fiat currencies, and this is reflected in inflation. I mean, I would not be surprised at the end of this year to see inflation approaching 50% in most major currencies. Yeah, why not? Look, if these currencies are going to not exist in 2 years.
All right, that's enough of the alligator. But that was the point I was making, that the COMEX is bullshit. It keeps suppressing the price. The real prices are much higher. Then you got the inflation where we already know the money's worthless. So if the money is worthless, the gold and silver are worth much more, and they're just playing games. That's why we hold it, because we know the real value is, like I say, 10 times more. He's saying 300% higher. Well, it's definitely much, much higher than what it is. So we don't worry about gold and silver today. Let's check what the hell is going on here. So let's go to gold. And, well, let's go to the stock market, I meant. and that's at 46.6, down $400. So this used to be 50,000 and it's now 46,000, but nobody pays attention to it because they still see it at 46. They don't realize it was 50. Let's go back to our gold and silver. And we've got update, please. We got 77.24 silver, and we've got 48.87 gold. Now we know both of these are, I mean, look at the drop from 49.90 down to 48.40. Why did it drop $150? It just drop. What the fuck is that? And 76, we're back at 76 for silver. There's nothing we can do there. It's just, we know it's all bullshit. Again, it's more bullshit. Let's check Bitcoin. And it's back to 71,348. So I've seen it at 66. I saw it at 73. Now it's 71. It's not going anywhere quickly. So that's what we have going on. It's a crapshoot. It's all bullshit. It's all price fixed. It's all Madoff. We understand that, though. We're not going to get caught into the Madoff trap. Everybody in Madoff got caught because they didn't know that Madoff was Ponzi scheming them. Even though he was giving them 15%, and in a market where you can only get 5%, and they just said, oh, well, this is great. I don't care how he's doing it. I don't care whatever if he's robbing money from the bank, that doesn't bother me. I'll take the 15% because everybody just is looking out for themselves, right? So that's what happened with Madoff. Well, that's what's happening with the dollar. The dollar has no value. They're bullshitting the price of gold and silver and oil and stuff like that. And so if you're getting bullshitted and then it starts going to where it should be, and we get rid of COMEX and we get gold and silver at 10,000 and 3,000, then that's where we're headed. And we understand that. So we just wait for it. It's really a good time to buy. If you can buy more silver, I highly recommend it. Gold, you might buy 1/10 of an ounce or 1/4 of an ounce of gold at this point, especially dropping as it is. It's a great time to buy because we know it's going to go up. And it's not a guess. Like he says, I don't make guesses on gold and silver prices. I'm not making a guess. It's a fact. I know where it's going. I mean, that's not a guess of what I'm saying. It's a guess when I pick Seattle to win the Super Bowl. It's a highly educated guess. It's going to be right 75% of the time. This is not a guess. This at $1,000 is not a guess. This is where it's headed. This is where it will be. It is not a guess. So you keep that in mind. Anyway, I guess that's about it. No questions, no comments today. Understood. Basketball we have looked at. What more bullshit? I keep getting these bullshit texts that are just meaningless. Oh, hey, this is a massage. Okay. So I looked and they have massages for $60. And I'm wondering why. I just got my hair cut. And I didn't know they did massages there. So I could use a nice massage. So she's got a special $60 for an hour. And it's usually 90. I said, oh, okay, I'll take that. That's because she's got no business. Business is declining, so she puts things on sale. The demand for her services. Now, supposedly she's pretty good, but nobody knows she has this. So that's what you have. So you can see it all over the place that, the demand is down for most things. McDonald's and all the grocery store, even the prices will go up. They won't stay up. You just don't. I see like a honeydew for $5. Nah, sorry, not interested. I can get a cantaloupe, or you know what? I'll have broccoli and cauliflower and cook it up. So anyway, that's what's happening. So it reminds me, I made hamburgers for dinner yesterday. I got 2 pounds of grass-fed hamburger, and I made 8 hamburgers with it. So let's say they cost me $8 a piece, so $16, which at Big Boys is one, but it's a double patty burger. Or at the Coney Island, it's $7.20 for a burger, and at the barbecue place, I think it's $7 or $8 for a big burger. But that's just one burger. This is 8 burgers. Now, some of them were small, so let's call it 7 burgers but that's why you cook. And I made it with olive oil and very good dressing and Italian dressing and my salt, cayenne pepper and my Celtic salt and my garlic and all my healthy ingredients. So I eat it. It's a very healthy eat. So that's the point. That's exactly what why you buy it. It's much cheap. That's how you defeat it. And the things that get it, they want to sell Lucky Charms for $10. More power to you. I won't be eating them. More power to you. So you try to find things that are, that's why apples, you can't go wrong. It fills you up. You eat a lot of water, a lot of green tea. I mean, stuff like that. You just, they want to raise the prices. And, unless it's something that you really, really want, you just ignore it. No, sorry, not interested. Salmon, they usually put on sale, but it's hard to keep it in the freezer a long time. Salmon's something you have to cook pretty quickly. So you get it, maybe keep it in the fridge a day, and then the next day you cook it. It's a good, get a pound, it's $13, $14. Steaks are 17, 18. Chicken still, I got some for $2.75 a pound the other day. The chicken breasts, which I cut up and I take 5 chicken. I cut them in half, so now I got 10, and I do that. Cook it well. Again, I'm getting my hair in. It's hard to see because there's hair here, but it's hard to see it. But I can, I know I have it. She's trying to give me this haircut where both sides. I go, no, that looks stupid. I don't like that. So I kind of pull it over one way. Anyway, anything else? Questions, comments? I know I don't have a lot of commenters today, but that's okay. It's funny. Then I'll look at the end of the video. I got 50 people, but nobody went on to comment. I do it live, so you feel free to comment and ask questions. That's what I want, because I don't know if you get it or not, unless you, by not giving me questions or comments, I assume you got it, right? So again, AI is the next Ponzi scheme, as is algorithms. They're not real. They're not honest. They're not truthful. And you shouldn't listen to them. And that's why all the NFL coaches get fired. 10 firings because they're listening to AI, because it doesn't work. Well, go for it on 4th down. Yeah. And then when you don't make it, it already cost the Lions their only Super Bowl opportunity. They would have beat the Niners. If I was the coach, they'd have beat the Niners. They're up 17, kick the field goal, get up 20, kick the field goal to tie the game at the end of the game. And, when the 4th, we're down 3, then instead of kicking the field goal, they miss it, and then the other team scores it. Now they're down 10. Yeah, not too bright at coaching. And then you'll never get back to a championship game. This whole fantasy that the Lions are good is bullshit. Just they did changes with their offensive coordinator, and the league's now catching up. Now the Bears are doing it, and so are other teams. They're all figuring it out. And there you go. But all these AI things, all this computer IT, all these IT things are terrible. And they don't explain it, just like my cable. They didn't, the internet, they didn't explain it, that I actually had to call. So it was ridiculous. Anyway, John C., how are you? Well, I'm just about ready. So have a good day. Well, I talked AI and algorithms and gold and silver getting hit on Comex as a joke. It's a buying opportunity. Have no fear. It will go up. And that's all it is they're lowering the price to buy more and maybe to get out of some options. But this is paper, gold, and silver, not physical. And I showed you that AI doesn't know shit. The price of gold, paper, and physical, it doesn't have a clue. The difference between paper and physical. It's sad. But if people want to, this is what I'm saying is don't rely on AI. You've got to do your own search. And I think most people are lazy and they're not doing their own search. They're doing AI, which is why everybody's becoming more and more stupid, less lack of concentration. It's just sad. So anyway, that's about it. So have a good day. www.teacherking.com. I did pick some basketball the last few days. I've been starting to get a better feel. I'll start picking, I think, Monday. I won't be charging for it, but I'll start picking. And that's about it. So that's what's going on. So have a good day. I'm going to go eat salad and a hamburger. And that's about it. I think I still have some tuna left. I might have that. And that's it. And then I'll go swimming at about 3. So I'll relax and recharge my battery. And that'll be it. All right, everybody. Well, have a good day. www.teacherking.com. John C., take care. You missed it. I came on at like 10:45. All right. Take care.